Long time no see, Aries. I hope everyone is doing super well. I hope your holidays are keeping you rested, feeling abundant, loved, healthy, peaceful, etc. I'm here tonight. We're going to do a Celtic cross for you. These are the last few days of 2022. So before we do the Celtic cross, I do want to draw out of the Creativity Oracle for some words of wisdom for you on closing out 2022. And here we have it. Patience. Creativity takes time, and sometimes a project can seem to be taking too long or seem to be failing. But that's only an impression, right? So let's do the Celtic cross. I'm using, of course, tarot. First card out, Three of Wands in reverse, crossed by the Tower. What crowns you is the Page of Cups in reverse. The foundation is the Ten of Rods in reverse. In the recent past, Seven of Swords in reverse. In the near future, the Ace of Swords. In your environment, your strength is the Sun in reverse. Your environment is the Two of Rods in reverse. We have the Nine of Swords as your hopes and fears, and the Knight of Rods as your outcome. Well, the Tower is striking, right? The Tower crosses you, so she definitely has done what she had to do. I think you've recently gone through something cathartic. Could have been difficult, but the most difficult part was the suddenness, I guess, the surprise for you. So from the cards, a Three of Wands is in reverse. You never saw this coming. It came from the back. It was maybe you were backstabbed with the Seven of Swords in the recent past. It's possible. Figuratively speaking, of course. So there's something very unpleasant that occurred. It could pertain to relationships in general, very generally speaking, of course. But it's more than a possibility because we do have the Page of Cups in reverse. So in any form of relationship, you will have difficulty expressing the truth or being believed. So you will want to speak up. You will want to express your truth. But the communication will not come through. It'll be very cumbersome, for one, to try to untangle everything. And the Page of Cups here in reverse shows me that either you're not being received mostly on an emotional level. So maybe people are hearing you, but not really listening to you. Do you feel me? So that's how it's coming through for me. You're not going to feel the warmth. You're going to feel disempowered by this particular event. And I think you're going to feel mostly disempowered by the fact that you're not being believed. Or even heard, right? Like really paid attention to, or feeling like what you have to say isn't valued, isn't really taken into consideration, basically. What's beautiful about the sun in reverse in the strength position, or what's your power? Some people call it like that. You did draw patience, right? And things that seem to be failing might not be. So it might be a question of, just wait and see. You're not being believed in the moment. You're maybe not being received simply. Might not necessarily have to do with being believed, but like I said, it could also be like the way people are vibing with you. Like you're not connecting emotionally through what you're saying and what you're expressing regarding what has happened to you, which is important. Whatever that may be, whatever that tower was, whatever that bulldozer was in your life, because it came crashing. So it could be fairly recently, but it's definitely within 2022. You've already been so stressed about it. You've actually developed more stress about stressing out than anything, right? So you're at the point now where you can see like the forest for the trees, right? Or I'm not sure how the saying goes, but, or you can see, is it the other way around? The trees for the forest? I'm not sure. Anyway, you can see more clearly. You have great clarity. You definitely know what rings true, what you feel is right. That's super important. And what you also sense is how much you create your own stress. You're partaking in some of the equation of what feels uncomfortable for you, what feels really heavy, what feels is in the way of, having a clear path. I think you're okay with maybe accepting that you're not being received the way you would like, and that's fine. It's irrelevant. Or it has become irrelevant, right? Stressing about it, thinking, overthinking, being in your head about it. There is a lack of feeling, there is a lack of emotions here in the cards. The only cups is the page, it's in reverse. The sun is in reverse. All the other cards are rods or swords here, literally. And is the Tower. So everything feels quite impersonal. Everything is business. Everything is about how things need to be done, why they need to be done. There's a lot of drive being applied towards those things, that's for sure. Hence why you need more patience. We can see it here as well. The Two of Wands, the Two of Rods is in reverse. So there's a lot of things are still like far out. They're not so close to you just yet. Whatever is in your environment that you feel could actually help you out is not within reach just yet. You're feeling good overall though. Your energy levels are coming back. You are feeling disempowered because you wish you had more people on board, but that's okay. You're still going to push through. You have what it takes. You have this particular sacred fire inside of you, so that hasn't been extinguished, right? But there's really something slippery about the recent past or the past year. There's something that has left you with a missing piece, or I'm not too sure of the feeling here. It's a little bit like it's like a missing piece. It's like something that broke that can never really come back, never be quite mended. It's a little bit of that feeling as well. So it's not like you're not whole and you can't be who you are and you can't perform, you can't be at your best. It's nothing like that. It's simply, I guess, what you call the lessons of life, right? The things that we experience, that we go through, that we learn from, etc. So there's something that has changed a little bit, like maybe a bit of it's the idea of like losing a little bit more innocence, right? A little bit more, well, feeling like, okay, I'm going to be more careful next time. Or it doesn't have to be about being careful. It could be simply, I'll know for next time. I might recognize this for myself next time. I'm aware now. However you want to word it. But there's something about the experience that has changed you. There's a lot of, especially in the near future, there's a lot of energy spent, maybe a little bit overspent. So sort of rushing head on into things a little too quickly still. I mean, it's very Aries-like, but maybe you can curb that a little bit somehow. Somehow. Just a tad, just to, I guess, preserve some of the energy levels that you have. That would be a good idea. It would also help with you being more patient for the things that are yet to come. Obviously, remove any stress or any anxiety or any sort of over rationalization about XYZ, right? Always overthinking things, making it like worrisome for nothing. That kind of tendency as well. But I want to say the biggest take, I want to say two things, I guess. Whatever has surprised you, I guess was meant to be, of course. What's really beautiful about the experience, whatever that was for you, is I want to say your ability to have a clean slate, or the fact, the opportunity that you have a clean slate now in front of you for 2023. The other beautiful thing is the energy levels that you have. So this Knight of Rods as your outcome, right, is making me say that you have a lot of drive, you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of stamina. Maybe not stamina, but you definitely have a lot of energy, so you'll undertake many things. I don't know if you have necessarily the stamina to carry all of them, so maybe that's why you should pick and choose. Simply not to, scatter that energy. But don't expect to be understood. Don't expect people to understand you, especially on the first draft, or on the first moment, the first time that you express something, first time that you explain something, or especially when it comes to your truth and this new life, this clean slate for 2023. You might not feel the connection with others, or you might not feel received in the way that you wish, definitely. But, remember, the oracle said, creativity takes time, and sometimes a project can seem to be taking too long or seem to be failing, but that's just an impression, right? Anyways, this is the reading. Thank you so much for listening in. I hope you got something out of it. It's purposely a little vague so that everyone can find resonance, at least somewhere. So thank you again. You can like, share, and subscribe, of course. I'd love to see you. Thank you. Good night.